It's winter time, and when it snows, shoveling snow from your driveways and sidewalks is inevitable. In this video I show you what you can do to make the misery and pain out of shoveling snow, and what you can do to your tools to make them work for you the best possible way. It doesn't mean that the snow will pile itself. No, you're gonna have to do the lifting, but with much less effort. What are we talking about here? I'm gonna show you what you can do to the edge of your shovel and ice scraper, and what you can do to the blade itself. Okay, so first, the edge. The edge is gonna need to be straightened, and I'll show you which way straight and which way it doesn't matter. Let's get started with this one here. This is my shovel that I put away last year, and it's a little rusty here and there, and it's also got some nicks in it, and it's also rusty on the underside. So what I mean to make it straight is, it doesn't matter if it's got some nicks in it. What does matter is that you don't make the blade thicker than it actually is. And at the points where you have the nicks in the blade, that's where you can see that the metal is actually folded over. As the metal failed, it made the edge thicker, because the metal didn't get removed from here. It got rolled back, like crumpled back, like on a piece of paper, a corner of a paper. Okay, so you're gonna have to get rid of this extra metal here that makes the blade of the shovel thicker. You gotta do it on the back side here, and you gotta do it on the front as well here, and you have to file away some extra metal. What also you need to do is you have to make sure that the corners here are usually they fold in or bend out. This one is bent in a little bit. I don't know if you can see it with this light, but it's bent in, so you have to bend it back, bend it straight. And this one was bent out. I straightened it, and it's now tolerable there, nice and straight. So you got to work with the chips and nicks, and for that let me show you what you need here. You're gonna need a handy piece of anvil, something like that. It's a piece of rail or a piece of an I-beam as my anvil for now, and you're gonna need to put your tool on it, and here's a finishing hammer. It's a really light duty finishing hammer, and you're gonna have to go along and straighten the edge. Okay, particularly the aluminum shovels. They make aluminum shovels as well. Guess what? They fail way more often than low carbon steel. This is low carbon steel. Aluminum shovels weigh half as much, check, but because you're hitting the concrete driveway or sidewalk with the metal blade all the time, aluminum shovels, and nobody makes scrapers out of aluminum, okay, but they make aluminum shovels. They fail at the edge miserably and spectacularly. Okay, so you're just gonna have to chip away and make it straight, and look into it every so often. Yeah, that looks tolerable there. And you're gonna have to do it on the back side too. I don't want to make too much noise now with this. So that's it for hammering. And after hammering, let me just get rid of this anvil here. After hammering, you gotta get rid of some of the surface here where metal is buckled and folded over. You can see I filed it on the top side, or I started filing it on the this nick from the top side. And for this I'm using a double cut file. You can see it's a double cut file up there. The teeth on the file are raised both ways. This one is a single cut file, and I do recommend that you grab at least like this an 8-inch mill file, double cut. Okay, don't bring out a nail file because you're never gonna be done with this today. Okay, so 8-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch, even better. Big teeth on the file, big file. So put some weight on it and file away the excess metal here. That makes the blade thicker, because the thicker the blade it is, the more effort you need to exert to push it through snow. And believe me, you don't want to get tired just by pushing it through the snow. You gotta save your energy and concentrate your effort on lifting the snow. Okay, so you do it from the top side, flip it over, you do it from the underside as well. Come back to the paper here. So the edge needs to be straight, and that's done with hammering and filing. Double cut, 8-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch file. Another thing about the edge that I wanted to mention is spade. This is a garden little shovel thing, but the idea about this is that as you push this shape into compact snow, it requires less force, because when this one is, say, in 1 inch of snow, I don't know if you can see that one, when it's in 1 inch of snow, only this much here, only this length along the edge is in contact with snow, so you only need to exert a little bit of force to go within, to make it penetrate some of the ice or snow. And as you go deeper and deeper, that's how you contact more and more of the edge of this spade shape. Okay, so the force, it is gradually increasing as you go deeper and deeper, whereas with the straight edge design here, all the force that you need to exert to push the edge through the snow will show up at second one, at the first inch of snow. As soon as you touch snow or ice with it, you have to be considering pushing the whole edge at the same time. So that's just a design consideration. Likewise, the scrapers with straight edge. Some scrapers do have curved edge for the same reason. Curved edges are easier to push into the surface of snow or ice or compact snow. The blade, the things you want to make sure about the blades is that they require as little force to penetrate into snow as possible. So to lower the force, you have to lower the friction on the blade. And how do you do that? Well, for a starter, this one's rusty, so either pull out your belt sander or palm sander, or just a sandpaper will do just as fine. Not a sanding block, just a sandpaper, and get rid of the rust, because where it is rusty, you can see that the surface is raised, and can't see it so much on camera, but the surface is raised and it requires extra force to push a rusty snow shovel through the snow than a well-maintained one. So all that rust I gotta get rid of. So no rust, that's one thing. Another thing you can do is coat the blade. Coat the blade, not only that it doesn't rust, but also that it's easier to push the snow onto the blade. Okay, again, you want to exert force not when you're pushing the snow on it, but when you're actually lifting the snow away. Okay, so don't get tired by pushing this into the snow. So for that reason, coat the blade. And there's a couple of approaches you can go about it. Here is paint. If you like paint, go with paint. It works. But I don't like paint. But it's long lasting And make sure that you go for paint, you go for glossy. Not because it looks beautiful, but glossy surfaces provide less of a friction surface for the snow than matte surfaces, because matte is being less reflective, and it also means that it's that the microscopic texture that matte paint has will require more force to push the snow on it. Okay, so go for glossy paint if you like paint. I like beeswax. Take a piece of candle, it's natural material, and considering that the snow, whatever is left on the roads, when it melts, it goes into fish habitats and fresh water through the storm sewers. I prefer wax. If you want, you can experiment with oil from the kitchen. Make sure you're not using your wife's best cooking oil. I'm not liable for any kind of marital situation there. So take some oil. Try to avoid engine oil, okay, and mineral oils and mineral grease from automotive lubricants or any of those kinds, because again, the snow that you contact your shovel with will, when it melts, it goes into freshwater fish habitats, okay? So those are some of the options. You can go paint, you can go wax, or you can go oil. Go vegetable oil, don't go mineral oil. And that's basically the lay of the land, and these are the things you can do to take quite a bit of the pain and suffering and misery out of shoveling snow. Take care.